Okay, so tomorrow we're heading down the Great Ocean Road where we'll be filming with the Sony A7S III, and this is a camera that a lot of Sony users have been waiting for a long time. On this little trip, we're going to be testing this camera and pushing it to its full capabilities and really checking out everything that's new about this camera that makes it game-changing amongst the Sony Alpha range. I've had a few plays with it already, and I've got to say, I can't wait to get some footage out there and see what this thing can do. So we're filming a scene of Tara here in the forest, who plays Julia in the film. The Sony A7S III has eye tracking, so it can track the eyes and help a lot with autofocus, and it's really helping out just with portrait shots because the eyes are always in focus. That's the most important thing, having focus when doing portraits. So yeah, spot on, great feature. The new A7S III has a 5-axis stabilization in camera, and one really cool feature is the intelligent active steady shot, which crops in slightly to give you a very much improved stabilized image. We use this a lot and it really helped our handheld shots.
We're doing behind the scenes, we're getting the skimboarding scene, and we've got to time it well.
We've got all this water that keeps coming in the shallows here, so it's going to be alright for skimboarding. It's not the safest place, so we're going to be very careful. We're going to get some shots tracking myself on the skimboard, going perhaps in opposite directions, like the camera on the skimboard like this. We got 759 phase detection points, so this camera should be really, really great at autofocus, and now we're going to put it to the test. Skimboarding here at the beach was the perfect place to test out the 4K at 120 frames per second. And of course, what better way to test the 4K 120 with some epic skimboard stacks? These were real stacks. So we've been shooting all day out here in the sun, and the Sony A7S III has improved heat management, which means it shouldn't overheat. So far we've been shooting 4K 120 frames, 24 frames, and it's holding up. It's not overheating. It's amazing. Throughout visiting many destinations on this film trip, we came across a lot of locations that had overpowering sunlight and incredibly dark shadows. The worst kind of contrast conditions you could imagine. But with the Sony A7S III's 15 stock dynamic range, this wasn't an issue because in post we were able to bring everything back to where it should be. So we got a new tracking feature on this camera. You can basically tap where you want it to track and it will keep focus on that subject, which is super handy. Right now I'm going to be tracking Brian as he walks across the beach, just so I can get the right focus point. It's going to track him as he walks across, so let's have a look right now. The A7S III also now has a touch screen, so now we can shoot through the menu, and if I need to change from 120 frames per second to 24, I can do it almost like 3 times as fast. So the new Sony A7S III has a flip screen, which we've all been waiting for. And it's coming in handy right now for this monopod shot because we can have it tilted down while we're kind of looking up like this with a monopod. So super handy, this thing here. Go up, and so you can just keep walking forward and hold it above those ferns.
The beauty of these lightweight Sony cameras, do things like this.
A7S III's got really good weather sealing, so I don't have to worry too much about it. Filming out waterfalls and damp areas like this, it should be pretty tough. Should be able to handle the weather. This camera has dual card slots. It can take UHS-2 and CF Express Type A cards, so we never have to worry about running out of space on a big shoot. So this place has got amazing greens everywhere. So it's a good chance to test out the 10-bit color that's in this camera, the 422 codec, which should give us some high quality with this crispy 4K as well. I'm really curious to see how this is going to turn out. It should be beautiful. One of the major updates of this camera was improved color science. So after we filmed in the forest, it was time to take the camera to the beach and film the oranges of the sunset. So it's just after 7 and we're heading down to this awesome waterfall. We just went there today during the day to film some shots. Now we're transitioning into the night scene, and rather than staying there 10 hours to wait for night, we've come and gone some lunch. Now we're heading back. It's been a big day. Really going to be testing out the Sony A7S III's low light capabilities and its ISO range and night autofocus. So it's going to be interesting to see how these shots come out. Filming the night scene here at this waterfall because the Sony A7S III has really good ISO range from 80 to 409,600. We should have no problem shooting here in the low light. We should get really good quality images without too much noise. Good low light is going to help us out with these night scenes and these fire torch scenes. Alright, so Ben, what are we doing? Well, we're on our way back from our night shoot, and there is a grassy wall here just absolutely covered in glowworms. So we're using the Sony A7S III's ISO range to see if we can even get them, because it's 100% pitch black. The only light is from this glowworm, so we're at 6400.
Oh my god, look at that.
6400 ISO, and you can see the glowworms.
Let me get that.
Now we're at 160,000 ISO. Look at that, it's so crazy. So we've come down to the beach tonight for the final scene of the film. It is super freezing right now. We have like 6 layers on each, and we're starting a nice little fire here on the beach, which will be the center of the scene. Everyone will be camping around the fire, and we have some dialogue we need to film. It's absolutely beautiful. There's a whole full sky of stars above us, which we're going to try capture on the Sony. The other night we were able to catch some glowworms on it, so we're hoping we can capture all the stars. That's how good its low light is. So it will be interesting. It's going to be a fun night. Hey guys, my name's Ben TK. Thank you so much for checking out the behind the scenes of the Sony A7S III and how we filmed that little cinematic mashup. I've got to say, first impressions after using the A7 III for about 2 years, coming onto A7S III, I'm pretty blown away. The quality on this thing is insane. If we've finally got some incredible colors, skin tones are great, 4K 120 and some incredible autofocus. Really stoked about this camera, and I'm sure like many of you, I'm definitely going to be running to the Sony store on launch and grabbing one of these. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm Ben TK. Peace out, everybody.